Alright, I'm going to try this again. I just made a video and then I realized why I messed up. I kept getting the same equity numbers back. So I was messing around with this ace-queen hand that you were showing me earlier. Let's see if I can find it again. Yeah, here it is. The ace-queen hand where we check back and then he fires twice into us. So I was trying to figure out, so I'm trying to dissect the range here, and I already have our hand, ace-queen, ace of hearts, queen of hearts, and then the board's down here. So I messed with his range. This was the range I came up with when I was creative with trying to find some of his bluff combos that he has. There really aren't a ton I found that I think a lot of people are going with, even on the creative side. Just with the way the boards run out, it's kind of hard to have really any big diamonds outside of the aces of diamonds, and then some like jack of diamonds plus gutter ball, straight draw kind of hands. So I gave him those for obvious bluffs here. And yeah, before I had the darker blue just means one combo. Before I was running it, I had it as either card as a diamond. So sometimes if you have the two of diamonds and like the ace of hearts, you would be trying to bluff. This time I switched it around. It's only the ace of diamonds, these combos, and then these I left him open too. If he just had a jack 8, so he's got a gutter plus a flush draw, he would start bluffing those. And then in this one, the wider version, I have him starting to bluff under pairs as well on the turn. And then obviously for value, all the darker blue here are all of his diamond combos that make the flush on the turn. All of his aces, and then his two pair combos, his king nines, queen nines, his straights with the jack 10, and then his king queen off. And also in this one I have him with some traps pre-flop that he decides not to 3-bet. Aces, kings, queens for value. And so we ran that, and the numbers come out to about 41% equity for us, which, I'm trying to remember which in the board would be, what, we had 1,400. Minus 540 divided by 5. So we're getting like 2.6 to 1, or so we would need 27% equity to call this in this spot. So obviously if we're going to give him credit for going a little wider and more creative with his bluffs, then it's a pretty easy call. But that does hinge on him turning some hands that I don't think a lot of guys are turning their hands into bluffs. So now I'll run it again, and we'll kind of tighten up his range just a little bit. For starters, I'll take away aces, kings, and queens. We won't give him credit for those as much. I'm going to just start discounting some hands that I don't think he might start into bluffs. This version, we won't allow him to get to the river with 4s. I don't think he would start bluffing those on the turn. 5, 6s, all these hands just try and get to showdown. Obviously, he would still have all of these made hand combos, his two pairs, his sets, and his flushes. And I'll leave his bluffing. I think his bluffing's pretty. The only thing I changed about his bluffing is the pocket pair starting to go. I could get crazy and start putting hands like, like 8-6 off with like the 8 of diamonds, but even those hands, I think by this point in the hand, people just check it down. They're just gonna. But maybe I'll do another one where I'll go super crazy with all of his diamond hands. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it to the ace of diamonds. I don't know why ace jack's not in there. But yeah, like I said, like this one I went. So I'll get that. I'll do jack 7 and jack 10-7. I won't even put 10-7. But for these two, I'll just put the first one as a. So that's 2 more combos there. And let's run it again. Yeah, so by even taking away just a few bluff combos, it gets pretty bad for us. Our equity went down from like 40 to 30%. It's a pretty big hit. So while the pot odds are pretty good for us though, like we don't have to pay much here. We're getting like almost 3 to 1 on our money. So it's still probably a call, but I think if he's applying a little more pressure, this becomes a pretty easy fold as far as our equity goes. So yeah, like I said, given the price that we have to call, but a little more, this becomes a pretty clear fold.